Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to host you all today in this online webinar for open to all ONOS members. And there are many who have joined our last webinar. This is the second in the series of the webinars we are doing for ONOS members. Thank you so much. We have repeat audience also. My name is Alpana Sagwal. Many of you know me already by now. I work as an account development responsible for conducting engagement activities for Springer Nature. And I have with me today my colleague Neeraj, who is in my team, and we together are working for all these engagement activities. Thank you, Neeraj, for helping us. Neeraj will be handling your chat, your Q&A queries, all of those things at the back end. And we also aspire to also take as many as of your questions, though we have limited time. And though we would like to address many questions because there were a lot of questions in the last one, we tried to address them. And this is the whole idea of conducting these kind of training sessions. There are a lot of sales colleagues from Springer Nature also joined in this session, and I would like to extend a warm thank you to all of them for promoting it in their networks. Thank you so much, all of you. Because of you, we have such an overwhelming response in this webinar today. And last, but really it is not the least, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our wonderful librarian community, without whom we are nothing. Thank you so much, all of you, for really promoting these webinars within the institutes. So that your researchers are able to come here and gain access to the knowledge, which will help them further in accessing content from our platform. So thank you so very much, and thanks to all the attendees today. We see an overwhelming response, and seeing the last response, we actually went for a higher license of Zoom so that we could actually get more people in our webinars. So I'm glad that it's worked out well. So let's continue and let's start with the session. Now, just a second. So a couple of housekeeping things. These are the norms of these days webinars. So we have kept all of you on mute. I know we had one or two queries last time that we should have given some chance to open questions where people would like to speak. So we'll try that doing at the end. I request Neeraj to take care of that. If there is anyone who would like to raise any question by speaking to us, we would allow raising hands and we would unmute as well. We hope to do that, but let's see how the time goes. We are recording the session. A recording link will be sent to you like last time also, and you'll be able to access it. I think it should take a day or two. And the Q&A section is in the end, and we request you to stay with us till the end so that you also get to know what kind of questions other people are asking if you are yourself hesitant to ask any question. By the way, I always say that there is no question which is a stupid question. The answers may be. So try to ask as many questions as you can. We will try our best to answer them, else we'll try to bring answers for you. And there is a feedback form that will be shown at the end. Please, I request you your 1 or 2 minutes. Please spend some time to complete the form as well. We take the feedback seriously at Springer Nature. Some of you might have seen in the last one, we sent individual mails to many of you who had 1 or 2 queries about the webinars. So that was taken basis the survey that you had filled. So thank you so very much, and thank you for all the reactions that you all are giving. So we are all geared up to start the session. So I'll start the session with the poll, and those of you who attended the last one, they know that we are doing it again. The reason is just to give a fun element to it, and also to see how much is. Let's see if the poll is open. Yeah, how much actually is now people are aware of this abbreviation, and I hope we get a good answer this time. I'm just keeping it on for 20 seconds, let's say. Okay, I see all of you answering this, and we are getting responses, so many. Let me just end this poll right now here. Okay. All right, so a lot of answers. I think maybe 800 of you answered this poll. And if I share the results, 55% are saying one nation, one subscription, which is the correct answer. But still we have people saying one nation, open subscription. That happened because maybe you would not have seen the word open, but that is okay. Yeah, I see the reactions. Yes. So this was actually to give a fun element to this webinar. So now we are all geared up. and engaged. So let's start the session now. All right. Neeraj, I think the slides are visible again.
Yes, Alpana.
All right. Thank you. All right, so the answer is One Nation, One Subscription, and this is all you all know by now that it is an initiative by the Government of India. I think this is a grand initiative, I should say, which has taken us on the global map. Believe me, working in a global organization, I can vouch for it, and I think all my colleagues also can, that everybody's talking about this giant step taken by India. And this is taking Indian research forward. We should actually feel fortunate about ourselves, the country we live in, that there is so much government of India is doing by such initiatives, and we all should take it very seriously. And at Springer Nature, we are very keen to support the government initiative, and hence we are part of this, first of all. And secondly, we're trying to do as many engaging sessions, as many awareness sessions, so that people in this country, researchers of the country, are aware of what is in it that you can get access to. So let me just give you a context. What we'll try to cover is so the ONOS actually started in January, but the accesses for publishers kept on going, and I think we are at that stage now. Maybe now all publishers access has started. So what I'll try to do is, though I understand many of the majority of the registration process is done, but still, if you're new to this, we will just show you a little bit steps of the registration process, and then how to access on the ONOS website. Then we will take you to the demonstration of our platforms, that is Springer Nature link. And I'll also try to give you some strategies, some tips for doing an effective research, for becoming a smart researcher that you already are, and also some tricks to locate the right journals for your reading purpose, and also for your finding the right journals. So this is the agenda, and then we have a Q&A session also at the end. All right, so how to access ONOS? Now, see, there are close to 7,000 institutions which are covered in ONOS, and there are 5,500 plus colleges also. The first phase of ONOS, this scheme, only the government institutions, higher education institutions, academic institutions are covered. The private are still not part of it, might come in the second phase, but we don't have a clarity to that. As of now, what is known is that from 2025 till 2027, for 3 years, this is the phase one, where close to 7,000 institutions are getting access to scholarly content, high impact factor journals, which are like more than 13,000 full text journals from 30 publishers. And you name all the reputed publishers, these are part of ONOS. The access enablement is not only from IP based, you have the normal IP based access, but in addition to that, there is free of cost, without any charge. You also have a remote access, which is enabled by InFeed, which is driven by the InfluNet Center. So this is the basic what do we call context towards what ONOS has. What it constitutes is 6,500 plus institutions, 30 publishers, 13,000 plus journals, and both type of access models. Now let's again do a poll. Maybe let's see, and I would expect you all to be fair. Let me see if I can launch. Okay. So are you aware your institution gets access to journals? I'm sure many of you are, but let's be honest here if you're not, because these data is not only for the fun element. Honestly, we also see this data as to how much the awareness is increasing time as we go by. So this is also a way to look from that angle. Thank you so much for the overwhelming responses. And I think I'll have to close the poll because I have the responses here with me. All right. Okay, so it's good to know that 72% of you are aware, and the 28% are not. So the 28% who are there with us today, if you are a government institution, an academic institution, a research lab, you are covered under ONOS. So my request would be, please go to ONOS website and just check for your institutions. You'll be able to see it. All you have to do is register yourself, and I'll let you know how this goes. Just let me take you to the next slide. So see, there are two steps mainly: institutional registration and the user registration. So the institutional registration needs to be done by the librarian. So as a librarian, you need to go to the site ONOS and check whether your institute is registered. If not, then maybe you will have to fill a form. And see, the institutions who are already part of ESS and Enlist or maybe the other consortia, they are seamlessly integrated to the ONOS site by the ONOS administration itself. So you don't need to worry. But if you are a new member who were not part of earlier any government consortia or a research lab, or Enlist consortia, then you will have to go to ONOS and get yourself registered as a librarian. Now, once the librarian does it, then the user, the researcher is able to has to also register themselves. They have to check their institution, and then they have to fill a form, and then they get a login ID. So it's a very simple process. On the ONOS site, all the tutorials are mentioned. They also have added all the PDFs which will give you step-by-step information. Just for your understanding, maybe if I'll show you, this is the steps for institutional registration. You go to ONOS, you click on the institution registration. I'll just show you in a while. You have an AISHE code, which is the All India Survey in Higher Education. So almost all the institutes have it. The librarians know it. If you are a research lab and you do not have it, then you go to AISHE website and you get a code generated for yourself. And that's also an easy process. So you fill the form, you fill the nodal officer detail, librarian details, and then you become an admin of for your institute. And next time when you go, you start the login as an admin login. So that is the institutional registration. And then when the institute is registered, the user of the university or the institute has to register. So it's also again very simple. Go on the website, click on user registration, and then select your university or your state. You have to fill your details, and then you can generate your own username and ID. Username would be the same. You can generate your password, and next time you have a password to access ONOS. All right, so this is about the registration process. Then about the access, there are two kinds of access, as I mentioned. One is the IP-based access, wherein since the ONOS has given us, the publishers, all the IP addresses, so we have enabled them at the backend. If you are in the campus, you should be able to access all the content seamlessly. You should not be having any problem in doing that. But there's also a possibility of a remote access, which you all will use very often. We know that. So InFeed, which is driven by Infleed Med Center, they actually are driving this. All you need to do, the librarian has to send an email to InFeed saying that you need a remote access, and they will provide IDPs. And then the librarian, like the usual way, can generate username and password for bulk for all of their users, like the way they usually do for remote access. So it's a very, very easy process. So this is for the ones who have a static IP. But there are many colleges which are part of ONOS, and I'm not sure how many of the colleges are today with us in this webinar. But if you are, so for the college, you do not have an IP-based access. Rather, you only have the remote access facility. So the librarian of a college has to fill the form and send to the InflibNet Center, InFeed, for getting the remote access enabled. And then your college users, you can actually do a bulk upload of all the users and the email IDs, and then the username will be generated. Automatically, the user will get an email from library that this is your setup. But one thing is that when you upload, there is a possibility of only uploading 50 per batch. So 50 in the batches of 50, you can upload your usernames to generate the passwords for them. So that is about the colleges who do not have a static IP address. Now, the one existing government consortia, as I mentioned, since you were already part of either one of the consortia like ESS, Enlist, or maybe any other, so there is a smooth transition has already happened, so you do not need to worry about the registration process. And even if you have remote access enabled already, that also you need not to worry then. All you can do is just go and start searching. So let me actually just stop sharing for a moment. Neeraj, I hope my browser is visible now from the screen.
Yes, Alpana.
Thank you. So this is the ONOS site. All of you are already going on this. I know very well. And you know, this site is actually very user friendly. There's a lot of what do you call, a very good GUI, graphic user interface this site has. So, and it's also intuitive. So you go in here, you see here register, something which I was telling a while ago. This one is here, institute registration. You click on it, and now I do not have a AISHE code, but the librarian will have to enter these details. When you click on register, a form will appear and you need to fill the form. And then once that is done, as a user, you need to go here, user registration, and then you have to fill your state and your institute name. When the institute name comes, then you have to register, and then a form appears and you will be able to make your user ID. Once that is done, then you can log in by your normal process. Once you have the admin login, an admin can log in for it, and the admin will be able to see dashboard also. So as a librarian, the ONOS dashboard gives you the facility, the ability to show, okay, how many active users you have, how many users from your institute have already registered and are accessing content. So you see all of that as a librarian dashboard. So that's made very beautifully here. And then as a user, this is a user login. You click in here, and then you can see whether your college is getting access, and you start accessing. So this is about the registration and login. If you want to know what publishers are part of it, you go in here and you see all the publishers are listed. If I show you like one publisher, I'll show you mine, Springer Nature. So we have the URL here, how many back files are available. If you want to view journals, click here, and the journal list will start by A to B. So let's say if you are following a journal, and then you were finding earlier difficulty in following in finding it, you had to tell and take it from your friend or from your network. So now it's become very easy. Go in here, look for a journal, you know the name, click on the alphabet, and you can already start reading the journals. If you want to see the member institutions list, it is here, and you will see the AISHE code for all the institutions here easily. And yeah, and another thing, and search and browse. You can also search for topics in here. So if you see, I go and searching, you can type your keyword nanotechnology and you start searching. Also basis subject categories. Now it doesn't allow me to search because I don't have a user login. So it will, if I see, I'll show you. If I do it, it shows me full text not available, something like that. So you see no ONOS full text. So see, I'm not getting any access to ONOS. Anyways, all I wanted to show is that you can also do a keyword search on the ONOS platform. And when you go on a search result, it will take you to the publisher website. And here at the end, you have some wonderful resources. One is this FAQ. Many of you face challenges at times, and sometimes you don't know where to go. This is a good FAQ that's being built and answers many of your questions, like eligible under, what are the type of resources, how institution can obtain AISHE code. So please go in here if you are finding any problem. First, you go in here, and I am sure you'll be able to find your answer. Then if I go at the bottom, you also have, yeah, here downloads. Just see for downloads here, you have all the manuals. How to register your institute, how to register college, which is a little bit different method of doing it because you don't have a static IP. Then what is the format of authorization letter, because the colleges have to write an authorization letter signed by the principal. So all these process and steps will be told to you when you go in the process. It's very intuitive, and it tells you automatically what to do next. And also the publisher guides and tutorials are in here. We have one for Springer Nature, our admin portal guide is here, our link.springer.com site guide is here. So all of this downloads are here. So this was like a brief demo of ONOS website. All you need to do first is get a user registration, get an institute registration. This is for the librarians. And then for users, once your institute is registered, please have yourself registered on this. Once you have your IDs, then all you need to do is click on login and start using the amazing database that you have here for 13,000 full text journals, 30 publishers, all in the back of your hand and on your fingertips. So this is really something which is called amazing in today's world. All right, so I will again share my PowerPoint. All right, so this was about ONOS. Any questions you have, please put in the chat. We'll try to take them at the end. And let's move on with Springer Nature. So Springer Nature, if you are an active researcher in the field, you already know us, who we are. We are a global publisher. And in this session today, I do not intend to spend so much of time on talking about us. I can only say it that we have a legacy of 185 years in publishing. We have some of the most reputed brand in the research academia. You see Springer, you have Nature, the BMC, which is a fully open access. We also have Palgrave for the management. And I mean, I don't think any research is complete without reading from Springer, and we are very proud of it. So all these imprints that you see, this came together after the merger in 2015. And it's been this year in May, we will celebrate our 10th anniversary, but only for the Springer Nature brand. But if you see Springer independently and Nature, we have, as I mentioned, legacy of 183 years, 155, I think, to Nature. So that's the legacy we carry. And many of the global Nobel laureates have published with us. Many of the research theories we have published. I think the DNA model of Watson and Crick was also published in Nature. So we are really proud of these kind of achievements, and we also support really in advancing discovery. So some numbers here, I'll not go in detail, but we are working in 4 divisions: research, health, professional, and healthcare. So the numbers on the right are very impressive, but all I can say that it is a testimony that we are here for innovating for you. Why? Because not only the legacy publishing will work now, seeing the world where world is going, we are a equally tech-enabled publisher, I should say, because we are really investing a lot in technology-enabled products, AI being on the forefront these days. So we're trying to make life of researcher easy. And that's why we are really going ahead from our legacy products to have something more on the AI-based as well, which can make researchers' life easy. So this is not the purview of the session, but we can all talk about what we are doing for in the area of AI for researchers. And we also do some sessions in that. I might have one session later in the second quarter or the third quarter for ONOS members, which I'm trying to bring a speaker who can talk about artificial intelligence and research life and research writing or publishing. All right, so this is our research portfolio, journals, books, databases, solutions. So everything is on the website. If you want to know what Springer publishes, we publish journal, we publish books, we also publish databases. Databases are curated databases like materials, experiments, Ares insights, etc. I'll not spend time again, I'm saying why, because I would like to really show you the platform and show you some smart tricks how to search for the right content, because that's what this webinar is all about. But I would like to really mention the last leg, which is the fourth. This is something I was just telling you, that apart from the legacy product remit, we are also really investing a lot in the services side, which is to make the life of a researcher a little easy. Because we totally understand, believe me, at Springer Nature, our top management also understands that the life of a researcher is not easy, first of all. Second, very, very time bound. Third, the research writing and publishing is not the only thing that you need to worry about. There are many, many other areas that you have your foot on, and you actually need to spare time as much as you can so that you can really do some quality research and make a change in the world and in your lives as well. I'll be honest. I understand we do research and science for making changes, but we also do it for bettering our lives. All right, so the first section that you see, journals here, that is something which is accessible to you all as part of ONOS. Let me move a little further. So yes, why I'm only brought one slide for journal portfolio here is because I wanted to tell you that these are the journals, academic journals on nature.com, ADIS, BMC is anyways fully open access, but Nature Portfolio, Palgrave, Scientific American, Springer journals, which are the Springer brand, the Knight logo, and the Springer Nature imprint journals. So with ONOS, all of these journals, I think approximately 3,000, close to 2,700 plus journals are accessible to all of you. And the access is not only for the current year, it is also for the back files. Let me just show you here what is accessible. This is accessible to you. All Springer Nature journals for the current year with back files access from 1997. So that is what you have. Now here is what something I can expect some reactions. So this is what is accessible to all of you from Springer Nature as part of the ONOS scheme. Now, where do you access these? Now, the good part is I showed you ONOS. Of course, you can go to ONOS site, you can search for your content, but ultimately when you read an article, because this is a database, it will not really be a reading platform for you. For reading any article, for downloading the article, you need to go to the publisher site. And the ONOS site will actually lead you to the publisher's websites, the publisher's platforms. So to access Springer, Palgrave, AD's journals, you need to access Springer Nature link. at link.springer.com. And for Nature branded and the other journals on nature.com, there is a site called it nature.com. Now, we do have two separate sites because Springer and Nature were different publisher, but that doesn't mean that on Springer link you will not find Nature journals. So all the Nature journals articles, not the journal pages. For journal pages, you can go to nature.com if you want to see how the page looks like, what is the impact factor of the journal, etc. But to search for the article, which we all do, all the journal articles are cascaded also on Springer link. So it's not that you have to go really worry about two sites. Go to link.springer.com, type a topic, you will even get the Nature articles in the search results, because these two platforms are now integrated. All right, so Springer Nature link, this is the URL link.springer.com, and I request Neeraj to actually put the URL. And Neeraj, also I forgot to mention for the ONOS also, I don't know if you have done it already. So please mention it in the chat, the ONOS website, and also the link.springer.com URL. So, and I request all of you who are with me, maybe you can be, you can start searching with me when I go on the platform. This is how the platform looks like, and my idea is not to really show you the snapshot. I actually intend to take you on the platform and show you. We'll do some searches together. But before that, let me just give you some tips also before you go on to the browser, the platform as such. So we search for the literature review, and literature review is very, very critical. All the researchers who are doing research, who are actually in the verge of writing a paper or maybe getting published, the importance of literature review. But if there are any budding researchers who are really new in this space, so I'll tell you this is the most important part. Why? Because you actually get to know a lot of things through the literature review. First of all, it gives a validation of the existing piece of information or knowledge that is available on your topic. Second, it also gives, as mentioned on the screen, it also tells you what are the gaps in the existing knowledge and something which you can fill in. Third is contextualization, which means how does your research fills into the space with the existing literature review. So it gives a context to your research. And then, of course, there is a critical analysis also. So of the existing research which is published. So a well done conducted literature review is very, very important, a very, very solid foundation. If you have clarity in your mind about your literature review, about the literature available on your research topic, it will be very easy for you to actually, of course, conduct the research also write your research in a very, very well lucid and a very clear manner. Now, some tips for an effective literature review. So gone are the days when we will just, data mining. So I just put in data mining on the platform, or maybe I get everything. No, these days you'll need to be smart enough with the keywords. So we have, there is a method through which you can generate keywords. It's using synonyms. So you take a phrase. For example, this is one example I've given you, or maybe if you see here, like pediatric is one keyword, but the searcher, the researcher can also consider using infant, toddler, baby, child, children. So these are all similar keywords. And when there is a metadata, when you see on the platforms, so sometimes the search result would have a toddler, but maybe it is talking about pediatrics. And if you have not put in that toddler word there, you might miss that search result completely. So you have to be smart enough in generating the keywords. After generating, you have to make permutation and combination. So just don't stop by doing the first research only. Let's say the example here shows us the impact of artificial intelligence in education. Now you can break it into words like AI, artificial intelligence, education impact. Then what you can do is you can take synonyms for each of these important keywords. Like artificial intelligence can become AI, machine learning. This is just an example, and you do your permutation because I'm not a subject matter expert, you are for your topic. So AI, machine learning, intelligent systems. Then education, you can have learning, teaching, pedagogy. Impact, you can have effects, influence, outcomes. So these are and then try making permutation and combinations. I'll give you another example here. This is one maybe from the HSS side, and now let's take from the STM side. If your topic is the role of nanotechnology in cancer treatment. Now, nanotechnology, cancer treatment, role, these are some keywords because you are asking in your research topic, you're asking the role of nanotechnology. So then role becomes also an important keyword. So you need to fit it somewhere in the search criteria. So think of synonyms for these terms, like nanotechnology could be nanomedicine, nanoparticle, nanoengineering, nanoscale materials, could be any. Cancer treatment could be tumor treatment, tumor reduction, chemotherapy, cancer therapy. Role could be application, function, impact, utilization. So, you have to be smart enough these days. That's why I'm saying, and the title said, how to become a smart researcher. So please make the combinations and permutations of these kinds of keywords. And then what you can do next is use Boolean operators. Please use Boolean operators, learn them, and try to make the effective use of these operators. Majority of the platforms, they allow and, or, and not. So even Springer link.com also link.springer.com also allows these three Boolean operators. How do they function? So the and operator is the default operator, which means and it is actually used to narrow a research. When I say narrow, which means, let's say the example here shows social inequality and urbanization. First of all, make sure that you always use these operators in a capital letter. If you do it A and B, the system will not actually identify them as operators. So please make sure they are in the capital letter. So social inequality and urbanization, which means in your search result, you are asking the system to give you result when both of these topics are covered. Now, then we have the OR operator, which is more or less to broaden your search, because then by giving an OR operator command, you are telling the system that please include either of both of them also, or maybe independent as well. So even when there's only one, for example, your search result has only political science, but doesn't have international relations, still it will give you the search result. So that is your OR operator. So it allows you to broaden your search a little bit. And NOT operator is used when you have to exclude some terms. So for example, and it will exclude the term containing following the not. For example, nanotechnology, not cosmetics. So it means your search result will exclude cosmetics. So that is how these three operators work. And you can also use an effective use of parentheses, means the brackets, because see, in this example, which I've given here in the slide, if you have education or learning and technology, this will ensure that the search will include results related to education or learning both, and then combined with the role of technology. So please just do these kind of things when you are searching for your literature review. Also, we have something called as wildcard search or a truncated search. This could also make your life easy, because what you need to do is, after the letters of the word, you need to put an asterisk there. And then if you put that, the system will take it as a truncated word and may then just give you results for, let's say for educate, if you just do EDUCAT asterisk, then the system will fetch all the results related to educate, education, educational, educator. This is something which I could think of, maybe more. Similarly for Janet, for therapy. So try using these searches as well, so that you do not miss on something important, like something a search result only having educational but did not have educate, but you might just miss it. So and the wildcard search, as mentioned here, works best when your word starts with at least 3 characters. Then it will give you a better searches. And then also for effective review, please use advanced search techniques. All the publishers have advanced search techniques. Do not really be wary of them. Do not get scared of them. How should I use them? Please definitely use these smart search techniques. And like in Springer Link, you have searching by keywords. You can even search like, okay, in my title, in the search results that you fetch me, in my title, I definitely want this word to be there. So you can give these kind of specific commands as well. So this helps you bringing your research results very, very niche and something which you can really start reading on. If you have author name, if you want to search by author, that is possible through advanced search. And if you want to also search via journals, you can do that. And also date published. So this is something which I showed you what is advanced search includes. I will show them live to you, and we will do an advanced search ourselves when we are on the system. And then tips to become a smart researcher, apart from these literature reviews that you will do smartly by using what did we call like the smart keywords, using the Boolean operators, using truncated search, using wildcard, using parentheses, using the column like the phrase matching. Use all of this, but then there are many other angles to becoming a smart researcher also, is that please follow some communities. And I request Neeraj to please put this URL there. There is a wonderful page on Springer Nature, which is Springer Nature Research Communities. And you have a community for almost every subject area. And there is no fees, nothing at all. All you need to do is you need to click there and show your interest to join a community. The community members review your profile and they add you in the community. What happens is it's identified by, organized by topics. If you see here, We have a community on health and clinical research, on humanities and social sciences, on life sciences, on mathematics. Under mathematics, then like we call it MPAS, we have astronomy, chemistry. So all the people, I mean, in this community, you will find similar researchers working on kind of similar topics where you can network and you can see what the world is doing. So my request would be, please today, and there is no limitation to joining the number of communities. You can choose to join all the communities if you want. So this is my one tip, which I think would certainly help you. Next is, please sign up for nature briefings. And again, I request Neeraj to type in the URL for nature briefings. Now, what is a nature briefing? It is a daily newsletter which gives you a concise summary of science, what is happening in science, AI. And for those of you who are already subscribed to it, they know how important this is. On your email, it gives you a summary of every day, like what's happened in the basis of research published in various forums. So it gives you a concise summary of all the research published in Nature, which should be important to you. And then you have one paragraph that you can read, and further, it says you, okay, this is a 2 minutes read, this is a 5 minutes read, like any newspaper does today, like any dailies are doing today. So you can choose whether you want to read more or you do not want to read more. Now, since everything is open to you, if you click on the news clip or the article clip, the entire article will open up. But that one paragraph gives you a good idea of what the news is talking about. So this is one, you can all try doing it, signing up for nature briefings. Then is the source. This is also a blog by Springer Nature. It provides great insights, and this is not like just one subject topic. The one which I showed you, the communities, they were more on the subject side, like a humanities community or a chemistry community, astronomy. But this is more on like a general what is happening in research world, in the academic world. For example, SDGs could be a topic here, like publishing a book. If you see here the example which I have shown, and maybe you can start following this is called The Source. It is actually a blog, and we also invite your contribution. If you are interested to write a blog for us, which will be open to the whole world to read, maybe that's also it will be very nice, and we welcome you to do that. All you need to do is you need to reach out to thesource@springernature.com. That is the email ID. If you have any topic which you would like the world to know about, it is a general topic, so please reach out to this email ID. That is our internal ID, and they will evaluate, and then they might just add your blog in the source that we call it. All right, so this was little tips that I wanted to give you before we now move on to the live platforms. Let me actually run a poll now, because I really want to take your opinion on which topic should I start first for the research. Because in the last one, I had questions as to, I did not take humanities, I did not take STM science, so I thought better to take the audience view here. It is a democratic country. Anyways, so I'm giving you some time. Let's say whatever weightage is more, I will start with that. But I'll assure you, it is not that I will just take one. I might just start with that topic, but I will take the other topic also. Okay, so I'm ending this poll now. So 56% people say STM and 44 HSS, which is a very, very fair distribution, because we know that, STM always has a little upper hand, also because of the number of researchers here. So I'll start with STM, and I do not want the HSS researchers here to really feel bad, because we will take topics related to humanities and social science as well. Okay, now let me stop sharing my screen, and I would like to take you to the springernature.com and the Springer link site. Okay, so the URL is, sorry, link.springer.com. So if you see here, this is how the page looks like, and I hope this is visible. Yeah. So this is how the page looks like, and we will do some searches here. So many of you are already aware of the pages, aware of how the publisher sites look like. Maybe if there is even one or two researchers today who are not aware of it, very quickly let me scroll you to the page, what all you can do on this. So if I quickly go, This is the home page. Every time you click in here on Springer Nature link, you will be routed back to the main page. Then here is Finder Journal. We'll come back to it because that's a very important tool which we have integrated with link.springer.com. That is called as a journal finder. And the journal finder actually will allow you to find relevant journals in your space. We will do a search for that as well. I'll show you live how you get relevant journals. Then publish with us. This is all about how you can publish with us for articles, for conference proceedings, for book chapters. But since this topic is not in the scope today, so I will not really spend time on this, but let me just quickly show it to you. This is how it looks like. All the information about publishing an article, a book, a conference proceedings lies in here. Then we have open access. I'm really sorry. I think it is okay. I think it's my internet which is creating little problems. But anyways, then you have track your research, wherein if you are an author and if you have submitted a research with us, so you should be able to track your search. If you click here, you need to put in your ORCID ID or your ID or the SN ID, which is like now the common ID that you use, and you can see okay which phase or which step my research is for. Is it in the peer review? Is it at the desk, or is it in the final stages? So you can check that. Now, next is the search bar, and here also you have the search bar. This is the advanced search. So I'll come back to all of this. That's why I'm not really spending much time here. If you want to know open access, you can see all about open access here. And then publish with us. Again, the same thing. Tracking your research, the same thing. Featured articles and journals. This is, if I click here, it will go here and it will give you some featured journals which are actually spotted by our editors to be displayed on the homepage. So that is all you can see here, which are the impact factor, etc. Then here you also have a call for papers. So this is a very, very important element actually in today's researcher life, because sometimes you, so what are call for papers actually? In here in Springer Nature, we call them collections. This is actually synonym of special issues, but we don't call them special issues at Springer Nature. We call them collections. And whenever a journal launches a separate collection, then there is a call for papers. And that is displayed over here. Now, you might be wondering, okay, how would I come to know which journal has launched for call for papers? So what we have done is our platform team, they have very beautifully integrated the calling for papers angle to the content types. So when you search for a particular topic, let's say, you will also be able to see, okay, how many of these are calling for papers? How many of these are like call for paper collections? So that is easily available and you can filter it out. I'll show it to you when we do a search. But some collections are lying on the top where you can have an easy access, easy visibility. Okay, so I have this Edge Computing AI for medical devices. This is a collection launched by a journal. If I click here, it will show you which journal it is for, like the journal is Discover Computing. What is the submission deadline? It is right now open for submissions. It is accepting papers. So all this information you can see, and maybe you can choose to even submit your manuscript in here. So this is called as the call for papers, and we have consciously put it on the display page because this is something we want our researchers to look at, our prospect authors to look at. Next is trending research. This is something which has a very high altmetrics score. Now, I should have actually added a poll about the altmetrics score, how many of you are aware of it. But anyways, maybe in the next session, because we will keep doing these sessions. So what is an altmetrics score? Actually, it is a metric. It is a complementary metrics these days, which is being talked about a lot. It is something, and it is actually given by Altmetric, which is a sister company of Springer Nature also. And it's based upon various channels where your research is being talked about, how your research is behaving in the social media, in news, in policies, in feeds, etc. And basis that, the altmetrics grabs a score, you get a weighted average, and there's a donut that is populated, seeing your number of times your research, published research is being talked about. So that if you have a high altmetric score, your research is trending, people are talking about it, so it is over here. And you can also, research more about altmetric score. These days, every research has an altmetric score, every research article. And then if you go down, we also have browsing by subject. For example, there were many from humanities and social sciences here today who showed interest. So you click on humanities and social sciences, and then directly you will see all the related subjects here being covered, and you can start searching within HSS also. That is something which is possible. So this is called as browsing by subject, and then okay, and then let me just go a little down here. Yeah, and then like journals, we have the featured books. Again, spotted by our editors. They have requested the platform team to display them over here. These are some books which are featured for the week. But as Springer Nature, I didn't mention it when I was actually bragging about Springer Nature, but it's all true. We are the world's largest book publisher. We publish approximately 13,000 book a year, which makes it to 44 new books every day. So we are a highly reputed books publishers, and we are very proud of the books that are hosted on link.springer.com. And if you see a white paper, which will come very soon out, we will let you know when it gets out, how our books are actually behaving, and is actually working hand in hand with the journal articles also. So we always say, okay, for anything we need to read journal articles, but at the same time, books are also equally important for gaining the conceptual knowledge for any topic, and Springer books are really serving that purpose. So this is the home page. Now let's start doing a keyword search. So there are two search bar here. Now this one is also for an author, but I recommend maybe we do not use this one, because in advanced search we already have an author search. So rather we search here for the research articles, academic books, and more. So took some of the topics that you mentioned in the research registration form that you filled, and since we have a weightage for the STM. So I will take a topic maybe from the STM first, and then we come on to HSS. Now the topic, let's say I'm not taking just one or two keywords, I'm taking a phrase maybe, which is the role of nanotechnology in cancer treatment. So the role of nanotechnology in cancer treatment. Now what I should do, actually, I should break this up into keywords. And as I showed you in my examples earlier, that I can break it up into nanotechnology, into cancer treatment, tumor reduction, into all these angles. Now let me just show you. Okay, let me start typing. Nanotech technology and treatment. Reduction. Now, what I want, my idea is here, how nanotechnology can help in cancer treatment and or maybe tumor reduction. Cancer treatment and tumor reduction are the synonyms. So that is why I've used an or operator for these. And I'll also give a command of a parenthesis like this here. So now I want a system to really take them as one and then use the AND operator for nanotechnology, because nanotechnology is a must to be added. So doing this, now I put an enter. So you see the search results. So this is like maybe, see, it's all about cancer treatment related to nanotechnology. You get a very, very focused, very, very niche result. But it is not, it doesn't end here. You can also refine your search. For example, here is the book type. Uh, Sorry, the book, the chapter type, articles. And also, again, a very beautiful thing which the teams have done is, we have an article here, the content type. We also have a research article, review article, and news article. Now, you might be wondering, how come there are many types of articles? So what our teams have done is, they have actually divided the articles into three parts, which is research, review, and news. Because if you are interested in reading a review article on a topic, sometimes you are. Maybe if you want to really increase the knowledge on a particular subject, you want to read a secondary research, which is like a mix of topics on that, and it gives a more information on that particular topic. That is a secondary research paper or a review article. So then you can directly click on review article. You need not to really click on the research article. But if you're looking for original research in this area, maybe then you can click on research articles. And then, okay, for the journals, now they've also added open access filter. So if you do not click it, then it includes everything. But if you click this one, only will show you open access. But right now, I do not want to show you open access only. So I'll keep this unchecked. But this is more for the journals. If you want to see how many open access journals are there for people who are wishing to publish in the open access journals. Then we have date published. Let's say I take it to 2020 to 2025, and then I do the language as English. Then we have subjects, maybe nanoparticles, nanomaterials, nanoparticle synthesis, cancer nanotechnology, and I click on all this. And then in the disciplines, I do material science, biomedicine, medicine, public health, maybe chemistry. So I see myself, you are the better judge, because today's research is interdisciplinary. Which disciplines would you want to use? You decide, and you can choose them. Then you also have sub-disciplines like nanotechnology, materials, biomaterials, biochemistry, uh, or maybe cancer research. So let's see. You do all this, and then you can even click on the search bar. You see how we were able to condense our result to only some hundreds of results, which you can choose to start reading. Now, this is like a paper published in Journal of Nanoparticle Research. Then you can see for yourself, okay, which are the these are the articles coming up, because we chose for articles, so this is only articles. And then because now you have ONOS, so everything will be open to you if you are logging into the right way, like you have registered on ONOS, then you have a login on ONOS, then you should be able to access everything on our platform. Nothing is really hidden on our platform, but only the thing that you need to keep in mind is the older research is only from 1997. Now, I got some mails in the last 2 weeks, which were dated back to 1980s, and people were not able to access. So I would like to clarify here that anything before 1997 is not accessible through ONOS. From Springer Nature journals, I'm saying only 1997 till the current year. So these are the search results. Let me just open the first one for you. Okay, so if you see here, the visibility on your visibility pane, you have this download PDF tab. So the first thing a researcher will do, if you like the abstract, you will click on download PDF and you will just download it. And it gets downloaded in no time if you have a good speed. Hopefully I have. So see, it's a 24-page article which got downloaded in no time. And this is where you can keep it in your local machines with your systems, and you can read it at your leisure when you have the time. But I'd also say that if you have a good speed or you have time, then you can also choose to read via the way our teams have put it in here for you. I always keep telling this in my training session that sometimes you really don't need to read the entire article to read the article. The first thing a researcher should do is read the abstract. Please read the abstract. The abstract will give you a fair idea of what the research article talks about, whether whether there is something for me here or not. Basis the abstract, you can really decide if you have a hang of your topic. I think you can very well decide basis the abstract. So you read it the abstract. If you feel okay, I want to read more, you can even make use of these sections here. So let's say here is the lung cancer diagnosis. This can come on the left-hand side here. Then all the figures which are used in this article are consolidated. If you feel, okay, this picture looks very intriguing, let me know how does it builds in context to the article. You can click on view in article, it comes here, and then you can start reading the context of this picture. You can also choose to see a full-size image of this particular image, and then for a better clarity. And then you go back to the article page. All right, and now there's a lot more that you can do on the article page, honestly. So like this is the just a second. This is the title, which is the journal title of this article. That is also here. The cover page of this, you see the color branding, how nicely it's done. If it's a brown color, and these are matching colors, and you will see difference in every journal you pick up. You will see a different color branding. So this is all done by our product and platform team. I think actually my product and platform team should give me some commissions, because I really keep vouching about them in all the training sessions. Anyways, so how can you cite this article is given in here. So you click here and it will take you to the bottom of the page. That's where you can download the citation, embed it in your citation manager that you're using, EndNote, Zotero, Mendeley, that you can do. This is the DOI, the unique identification that's called as digital object identifier. Like you have an Aadhaar card, the article has this. So if you copy this, if you have this, you copy this in your browser. So this article will open up, because this is only unique to this particular article. Then we have shared link. If you are an author, you want to really share. So in India, see, now it's very ironical because everybody has access to everything. But if you want to share it abroad with your networks in foreign countries, maybe then author should think about actually using the shareable link and not share PDFs. Please, I keep repeating in my sessions, do not share PDFs of your published work. Please share the shareable link always. You click in here, you get a shareable link like this. Why I'm saying this? Because then in your this will actually add on to your metrics here. So this has 58 accesses. It's a very, very recent article. If you see the date, it only got published like 7 days back, and already there are 60 accesses. So this keeps on building. And you can see all the metrics. If there's an alt metric score that comes in here, all of those things would come in here. Okay, what else? Also, yeah, references. Again, a very, very important topic. Why I'd say that? Because references become a very important onward journey for you. I think a smart researcher really picks up from the references. So please see the references if you find good literature, which these authors have used. So maybe you can also try using and building on this and start reading them, and maybe also putting them, citing them in your own paper. So this is references part. Then yes, if you want to get connected to the authors, you can get their ORCID ID, their PubMed ID, Scholar ID, all of this in here, affiliations as well. So you can write to them, reach out to them also. Then in the journal, I'll just very quickly, just show it to you, but let me go at the end. I want to show one more thing to you that is here, which are the keywords. So keywords again, now why are these keywords populated here? Because when the author actually submitted their manuscript, we made a mandate for them to add keywords for their manuscript, because these days it's become very important that we really put in nice keywords, and the keywords should not be very bland, very, very, what do you call in my daughter's language, vanilla keywords, which is like really the one words, but you really need to see exactly, because that's how the metadata gets built in. The smarter your keyword is, the better your chances are to get cited. So please see, keywords are very, very important, and it works in both ways. So when as a researcher, you see these keywords, these will help you in your onward journey. As an author, of course, when you've given these keywords, these help you to get better visibility and get cited. So please make sure that you are using the right keywords when you are submitting a paper, also when you are reading content on the publisher websites. And that goes for all publishers, not only Springer Nature. All right. So this is about the article page. Let me click on the journal page, which is where this article is hosted. The journal page has another set of stories. So there's a lot we have actually given to you. You know, as a researcher, we also don't want you to be free, even for a single minute. You see, there is so much you can do on our platforms. Really, I mean, if you go onto the journal site, you see here the pre-submission checklist, all the metrics here, the about this journal, the aims and scope. And again, another tip, may not be for researchers, but maybe for the prospect authors. Please do not submit to any journal without checking the aims and scope of that journal, because the editors are really fussy and they do not want to deviate. You know, they are so fussy that if they have to deviate from their topic, which is not related to their journal, but might be little related, so they actually call out for collections. They do not change their own journal aims and scope, because that's how, and it's not because they are really fussy that way. They also have a lot of mandate from the indexing agencies. So they have to really maintain and adhere to the norms of what the journal stands for. So whenever you are publishing, trying to submit your manuscript, please read the aims and scope of that journal. Make it a habit to read and read. So reading goes a long way. And in this is a journal page. You can do a lot here. You can even subscribe for alerts, see the latest research in here. And also, if you want to see which indexing and abstracting services this is all this information lies at the bottom of the journal page. For every journal, you will see this information at the end of that journal homepage. If you want to know, I got like some mails in last 2 weeks, people wanting to publish only in some particular index journal. So that information is already lying on the homepage of every journal hosted on Springer Nature link. And see if the journal is calling for paper, that information also lies on the homepage only. Okay, and then These are the articles. These are for, yeah. So for authors, submission guideline, pre-submission checklist, very, very important. Now, this is a hybrid journal, which means it gives you an option to publish open access. So you can explore whether your institute has a funding or not. So that's now that this is, I think, a very, very critical piece of information, and it got added only 2 months back for every journal on the on Springer Nature link page here. So for every hybrid journal, now you can check here whether the open access is you have your institute is having a agreement or not. Now what is happening is the world is moving towards open access, and a lot of publishers signing agreements with the institutes, but sometimes a researcher of that institute is not aware, because, and it's not your fault, maybe you're not connected, maybe you missed the webinar highlights from the librarian, or you're not aware that your institution has already signed an agreement with Springer Nature for an open access publishing. So what we have done is to cater to that problem, because this was something which was brought about in all the webinars that we were doing by researchers. So we actually got this new feature added, which is open access funding option. What you can do is you can check for institution when you are here on that journal, and you see, okay, whether my institution is covered here or not. Now, I don't know about foreign universities. Now, in India, the institutions, there is just a second. Okay, actually, this is very little slow system. Yes, see, so Department of Atomic Energy, and if I click on update, so let's see what comes up. This is, I just want to show, because one funding option found. So because we have an agreement, I know that Springer Nature has an agreement with Department of Atomic Energy to publish open access. So it says, great news, as an author of Department of Atomic Energy, you are able to publish. Now the author doesn't have to worry. Neither do you have to go to a librarian to check, okay, are we having an agreement with this publisher, with this journal? So this is something which is covered here. All of your 100% APC's fees are covered. So this is something you get on the journal page. I just wanted to show you that, since we are doing a training session on Springer Nature link. And then there are many other things that you can do, but I suggest that you all look for yourself, like aims and scope, editorial board, rights and permissions. Yeah, rights and permissions, again, very important. So if there's an article and you feel, okay, yes, this portion is very important for my research, and maybe I just use this as such. So if you're using a portion of somebody's published article, please make sure that you take appropriate permissions. Only citing that article will not work. Then you will be plagiarized, and you will be coming under the ethical considerations. And taking a permission is not difficult. You just need to go to the rights and permission page and just mention there, okay, why do you want the permission, what you're intending to do, and then a permission comes on the on your inbox in your email, and you can attach that when you are submitting your manuscript for publication. So, all right, this is about article page and journal page on Springer Nature link. We also have a lot of books, but now I will not refine the searches, but let's do some keyword searches from the humanities side, which I promised in the beginning. So let's say, as a researcher, you are doing a research on the causes and consequences of economic inequality. Now, this is something I picked up from the topics that you had given. So I made up a research topic. So maybe this economic inequality causes, and you are studying income distribution, wealth disparities. So you would like to get some literature for these kind of topics. So now I see myself talking economic inequality. I see myself talking in studying the income disparity, income distribution, wealth disparity. So maybe these could be like the synonym terms. So what I will do is, so I will type in here income distribution or wealth disparities, and what are we intending to find out? Economic inequality. Now, as I showed you earlier, now these are the key. So we are using keywords, we are using operators, and now we'll also use the parentheses. Why? Because I want an income distribution or wealth disparities, either of the both of the terms, but I definitely want economic inequality. So this is what you can search for. Yes, and now you have these results. I'll not show you how to actually refine this search, but yes, one thing I would like to show you, this is what I was mentioning about call for papers. So when you do a topical search, you see the call for papers also here. You have done it, you've written a topic, and you can check here, okay, are there any journals who are calling for papers? Are there any collection launched from Springer on this topic? So then a researcher becomes, it becomes very easy for the researcher to really find out, okay, because it is assumed and it is a norm in the industry that collections get published a little faster because they are the burning topics. That's why a collection is launched by a journal. Otherwise, they could have gone by the legacy mode of what is already under the scope of that journal. So if they are launching a collection, which means they are in a hurry to publish, so means they would really have additional resources for getting this research out. So maybe it's a chance for you to get published fast if your research matches the collection scope. So this is just one side thing I showed to you, but what I wanted to show you was this is how you can do your searches. So you see what we are getting, and yes, maybe let's say we have this. Let me also show you advanced search here itself. So we are doing the income distribution, wealth disparity, and we want to see and these are, we are saying the causes of economic inequality. So we are trying to find out some searches, some articles basis that. If I go to advanced search here, now, advanced search, you have these keywords because we already put that. Now, let's say I just want this study to be limited only in India, and I'm giving the platform, this database, a command that the title of your search result should mandatorily be having India in the title of the result. And I'm not putting authors here because then sometimes if you don't know the real author name, so the result gets messy. So I suggest if you have author name really the way they have put it in the paper, only then put it here. And then journals, etc. I'm omitting for the timing, but you have that option also. And then custom dates you can put in. So I'm just showing you how the keywords in the title works. Now you see we have 700 results, but now everything would be, now just see the first one. Does inequality in urban population lead to income inequality? This is exactly something which I was actually looking at. This is something I wanted to read about. So because of my and or operators and my brackets and my advanced search, it has given me exactly what I am interested to, keen to read. So that is what I wanted to show you. Please be smart enough when you are doing your searches. And maybe we take another example, again, from humanities and social sciences, because we gave them the second chance. So I have another topic here. Many of you had mentioned about AI and automation, but in humanities context. So let's say your topic is the rise of AI and automation and its effects on the labor markets, productivity, economic inequality. So you are actually examining as a researcher the technological advancements that can and the employment pattern and the labor markets and effects. So so then now I see myself speaking AI, automation, advancement. So maybe AI I give one term, then I give automation as another. And I give it a bracket here that I want system to pick both. And then there was something I was talking about labor markets. So I definitely want labor markets to be included. And then I also want effect. So you see, automation goods in perfectional labor share. So you will get, and of course you can refine your search by here, by the year, by the month, or maybe year and the language, etc. So this number will go down drastically. But you see, the searches that you will get will really be very, very relevant if you use the correct keyword. This is just just another example to show to you. Then maybe we take another example here. It's the effects of trade agreements on global markets, because we had some research registration link. We had some topics about the international policy and the trade markets agreements. So I've taken this topic, which is effects of trade agreements on the global markets. Now, let's see, I do this. Maybe I hear myself saying trade markets and trade agreements, sorry, and the global markets, because that's what we want to see, the effect of agreements on the global markets. And then, so this is one. Now you also have an option to search within a search. Now you've done a search. After this, you can also choose to search within a search, and you just give a command India. So this will confine your, now this particular thing may not really give you in the title India, but maybe or may not be, like in this one it is not, but this will in the article definitely talk about India if you are giving a search within a search thing. But if you go to advanced search and write in the title India, then you will get India in the title. And I'm just saying India as an example. It could be anything, maybe emotional intelligence, cognitive learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence. So if there are any topics you definitely want in your, or maybe phrases, if you want in your title, go for the advanced search. Now you see the impact of regional trade agreements on FDI inflow, exactly something which I was looking for, right? So this is some of the keywords which I wanted to show. And now I will take 5 more minutes before we start the Q&A. And I will show you a finder, journal finder, because that's also I promised in the webinar summary that we will be really showing you how to find a journal. Now, before I actually start, searching for you and finding the right journal, there's a disclaimer I would like to say here is that, see, it is ultimately it is you who will tell which is the right journal, because you will be as a human, not an AI. As a human, you will read the Indian scope, you know your research, you know what you are doing. So after you have a list of journals, you are the best person to tell, okay, this might be the journal for me. But what these kind of tools really help in, just to ease up your life, so maybe by giving the exact right keywords, etc., they help you to find a list of journals, which maybe then you have, okay, I have now a subset which I can start seeing, and then I find my right journal. So they help you a little bit in the journey. But again, I would say that do not just limit yourself to only the first journal you got in the journal finder. That is what I want to say. All right, so journal finder, again, I am taking some keyword search. Let's say your study is the economic implication of climate change. And then you want to really do a lot of things, which is beyond my reach and also maybe my understanding. So it says analyzing the cost of climate disasters, benefit of sustainable practices, impact of the environmental policies. So see, you see a lot of keyword terms here. Now this tool gives you gives you a platform where you can either add keywords. If you have an abstract, good enough, you can put your abstract here. Then you really don't need to worry about the keywords. But if you don't have an abstract, you can put some smart keywords here. So like I will do here, what I heard myself talking was climate disaster cost. Okay. Then maybe I put a space and I have sustainable practices, benefits. Then, okay, sorry for my spellings. Environmental policies and maybe impact. You can even give a comma, and you can even give a space. So let's see. So these are some of the keywords I'm putting in here. Basis what I just showed, I mean the topic. The topic was economic implication of climate change, analyzing cost of climate disasters. This is something which I've written for you to show this. Now, if I click on find journals, okay, so we have the list of journals here. Again, I'm saying this is just a list for reference. Please see this, see the aims and scope, and then find out, okay, whether this is the right one for me. But it will certainly, confine your thoughts to at least one area where you know where to go from. You are just not everywhere, which I think there are many researchers, and I got many mails about, can you suggest some journals in this area? Can you suggest some journals in this area? And at the end, honestly, even I'm not the right person. The right person is you and maybe your guide, if you get time from them. Pun intended. They are very busy. You all know that. So then nature, climate change, nature. These are the lists that has come. So take that list, and then you also have another option here, which is you can just let here download the results. So download results is then you will get a list of these journals as in an Excel format with the direct URL. So it's not that only the list will come, you will also have the direct URL of this journal. Please make use of it. That list will also have the impact factor. All these, columns will be there. And then you are very smart enough when you buy a phone, when you buy a car, or let's confine to phone. So when you buy a phone, you do a lot of research and checking, and you also have comparison tables. I know that. So this is similar to that. So my suggestion would be, and a strong recommendation, if you can spend time on that, you definitely can spend time on your years of research that you've done. So please be serious about it when you are finding the right journal for publishing as well as for reading. So this is the journal finder, which I wanted to show. I think this was like a decent enough demo, which I did, and I'm now keen to take questions. Let's see how many questions we have. And if there is anything, we can always ask you to unmute, but the system has become a little slow for me here.
Alpana, we have some questions, recurring questions in the uh, Q&A chat section, and these
Okay.
questions are more about remote access and individual access.
Okay.
And could you just show on the website about the remote and
Yeah, yeah.
individual access?
Okay, see, the remote access enablement, since it was not done as yet, if you have not done it till now, now Infeed is doing it for free. So like we did for a couple of universities in the last 2 weeks, what you need to do is, there is an ID here. I'll just show you. I think we have. Okay, so so what you need to do is write to, I will give you an email ID. Let me just, in the follow-up mail that I will send to you, there is an infeed ID. If you're not, I don't think it's mentioned in here. There's an infeed ID where the librarian has to send an email about the remote access. They will tell you the right format. What they will do is they will make an IDP for you, which is I think, a individual provider, that is called as something IDP, which is unique for you. Now, once you have that, then you have an option to create, like the way you do Shibboleth. So you have an option to create usernames and passwords for bulk users in one go. But you need to write to infeed for that. So the publishers won't be able to help you in the remote access. All you need to do is write to Infeed. If you have already in remote access, I still suggest that please write to Infeed what you should be doing. If you're using Nimbus or any other software, whether it can be integrated or not, please write to the Infeed email ID, and we will share that ID with you. Right now my screen is shared, but I will search for it because we did that for a couple of universities in the past 2 weeks. So which ID you have to write to, I will send a mail in the follow-up mail also. But this is not for users, please mind. This is for the librarians. The librarians have to do this. The institute registration and the remote access enablement is on the first on the shoulders of the librarians. Once you have done your step, then the researchers will create first of all, they will do a user login, user registration, like here, and then once they have their password, then they can directly come here and do the user login. For remote access also, once the librarian makes a bulk upload, and then every user of the institute will get a mail from that librarian with the link to generate a password, but that will be for remote access. So my suggestion would be, the librarians, please write a mail to Infeed. I think it is Infeed. We'll share the ID with you, email ID also. For remote access, you need to do that. Let me see what kind of questions are there. Then I think I can better clarify. Also, yeah, just a thing, there is something in the FAQ sections also about the remote access, I think. Yeah. See this one. The member institutions are required to submit their application with the signed participation. Institute must ensure that user is on the Infeed platform for the off-campus access. So this, you need to submit your application. You can write an email. The Infeed people, they are very, very friendly, and actually they're very prompt also. They come back very soon for this. So we have not really found any problem in enabling it for some institutions. So I'm just saying with experience. But please do that if you have not done it already. Okay, K. Prakash is asking, access was only for 2025, sir. The phase one is 2025 to 2027, but we work in the yearly model. So now the access is open for 2025 till this year for this year journals. Next year the access will be open for 2026, and the back files will remain constant from 1997. We should register with Gmail or gov.in ID. So ideally, you should register from your domain ID, from the institute's ID. That I can see only research paper, no case studies. Yes, because there are Springer Nature publishes more or less research. The journal articles have research papers, and you have 13,000 journal articles from across publishers. But there would be case studies as well. may not be really defined as a case study in the content type, but many article type are already case study. It depends upon the type of your subject and the type of your research. Especially in medical, also in some in humanities, we have case studies basis research papers. So they might be in the research paper only, but you will find some. It's not that we don't publish case studies. Okay, then we have once things to register. What are the prerequisite that the student needs to have to register? So Akanksha, as I mentioned, once the institute is registered, you need to go in here, user registration, and then register yourself as a user. You need to find your institute name, because if it is registered, it will populate here. Let's see, Arunachal Pradesh, and then you need to select. I'm just doing a random government college. So see, this is not yet registered, but let me find one which is registered. Okay, and actually I picked up a, let me pick Delhi, maybe. Okay, so the All India Institute of Medical Science, let's say I picked up, they have access already. So it says it's a campus-based access because they were already earlier part of ESS. That is why. So similarly, now when you see you have access, so you need to contact your library. But if you don't have an IP-based access, what you need to do is you need to then fill up a form. But I can't show you here right now because see, for me here, either the institute is not registered or it has an IP-based access. Now what happens is if the institute is registered, it will now here show you a list of all the publishers, and also will give you, as a user, when you log in, you will give you a link to register, which is not showing in for me. But please do that when you are in the process. You can share with us a screenshot. We can help you with that. Okay, then we have a question, AISHE code, how will I find it? AISHE code, ideally all the librarians are aware about it. But if you are a research lab, I'll just show you here. There is a website, www.aishe. Let me very quickly share it with you here. Okay, yeah. So how can institute obtain the AISHE? The code can be applied by visiting the official site. So you go to this website and you can apply for, if you don't have. If you see, and if you want to know, then this is the site. You can apply for it in here. Know your AISHE code. Okay, but in here also, if you go member institutions, if you search for an institute, you will see the AISHE code also. Let me just show you. Yeah, see here, for all the institutes, the AISHE code is here. Yes, there are questions about registering with institute ID. I think it's better always to register with institute ID, because that is something which will be registered in your institute also. And your librarian will also pick up your institute ID only to give you remote access. Does ONOS provide full access to Scoopus? I will not be able to answer that question because Scoopus is not related to Springer Nature. So maybe I'm really sorry for that. How can we know about the usage details of our users? So this is a question from the library. I'm very glad that you asked this question, sir. Very proactive thinking. Yes. So see, you will, once you are registered and you have your login, you will see a dashboard. In the dashboard, you will see active users, and as a librarian, there is a dashboard that is available to all the libraries. I'm not sure if you have already seen that, but you will get a dashboard with 4 quadrants, and inside that you will see how many active users in your institute are actually seeing, how many are used. All of that is available in the use. So a librarian will have a dedicated dashboard. That's why you see there are 2 different types of login: the admin login and the user login. Okay, will I be able to publish article in Springer, or it's only for reading e-journals articles? Well, Sakshi, that's a very interesting question. So ONOS is for reading articles, but only when you read, you are able to publish, right? Because it's a cascading effect and a vicious circle. So you read articles on reputed publisher website, you build your knowledge, then you do a research, you write effective research, and then you submit in the reputed journals. So with ONOS, the scheme doesn't include publishing as such. Right now, it is only the reading content. Reading is available through ONOS. Then we have a question, will the institute or library need to activate the user ID before the user can access ONOS? Yes. So if you are a college, then you need to actually do that. So the thing is, first you register your institute, and then a user can do it, activate the, user need to do the registering part. When the user does it, so automatically a link will come to you to, activate it. So you will have to give a yes or no. a user cannot just get registered by itself. When an institute is getting registered, then when a user goes to this, let me show you this particular here. So the user fills a form and that goes to you, to the nodal officer or the admin or the librarian. That's where you authenticate that user. Can we know the user statistic report? Yes, that is available on your dashboard. How can I get login of institute showing already registered? If the institute is showing already, okay, that's a very interesting question. So you need to then write to ONOS support. Nikhil Goyal, you're asking, no, sorry, this was from Harish Sharma. How can I get login of my institute? If you are registered, it's already registered. It means that you were part of some earlier consortia, sir. So it means that you have not used the admin portal for long, that you have forgotten your credentials, which is very common, which happens. So I suggest please write to this email ID and they will help you. Neeraj, can you put that support.onos.gov? It's on the site here.
Yes,
Or,
Anupama.
yeah, I'll just show it to you where it is. Here, support at onos.gov.in. Can you see the screen? This one.
Yes, Anupama.
Okay. Can you please share the PPT? Okay, you will get a recorded version of this webinar. Two journals, namely Nature Biotechnology, Nature Microbiology, are accessible. Yes, the question is from Shubhrangshu Kumar Mistry. Yes, both these journals are accessible through ONOS. And the good part is, which I really, which is something I should actually also emphasize. When you were earlier buying independently from the publisher, from us, for Nature, you were only getting 4-year back files, like biotechnology, Nature Biotechnology only till this year, and then 4-year back files. But with ONOS, because it is an integrated system, so for ONOS, even for Nature, you are getting files from 1997 till the current year. Do we get access to Springer ebooks under ONOS? No, Amit. For that, you need to contact our licensing managers and they'll be very happy to help you with procurement of the books. Do we have access to all Springer journals via ONOS? Yes, Dr. Jayalata. Every Springer journal hosted on link.springer.com is open to you all under ONOS. All the journals, and not only Springer, Palgrave, ADIS, Nature, academic journals, all the journals are open on via ONOS to you all. Is there any provision to have remote access to journals alongside? Yes, Ramesh. As I showed, there are 2 accesses available via the Government of India initiative via ONOS. One is IP-based, but there is also a provision for remote access. And my strong suggestion to all the librarians is please get your remote access activated, because InFeed is not really asking for any fees to do it. All you need to do is become proactive and write to them that you need the remote access enabled. InFeed is doing it on behalf of Internet Center. Okay, Sarveshwar is asking about remote access. As I told you, see, here is where you can actually, the offsite campus I just showed you. You have to, this is a prescribed format application form, fill that and write to InFeed. InFeed is actually opening up the remote access for you. When I visit link.springer from ONOS, how do I log into link.springer.com? So see, okay, actually, this keeps moving because I think Neeraj, you are doing some questions, so or maybe some questions are coming up. I keep actually losing the question which I'm reading. Just a second. Okay, Raki Saxena is asking, when I visit link.springer.com from ONOS site, how do I log into link.springer? So if you are in the IP purview, Raki, then you do not need to log into link.springer. Now, even if you are not in the purview and you are in a remote access atmosphere, you can go through ONOS site. If you land onto link.springer.com, you do not need to really log in into link.springer.com at all. If you want to make a login, that is fine enough. We don't really, we will not actually say no to you that you should not make it, or we don't deny it, but here is a login that you can create. You go to login, you create it. But actually, it's just an additional step. It will actually not serve any purpose. It's not a hindrance to you accessing the articles. So what you would need to do is, when you are accessing to the right purview, when I keep on emphasizing on the fact the right way means the right IP access, which is like if you are in the campus, and through the right remote access way, then when you come in here on link.springer.com, you please go at the bottom. And this is something I missed mentioning in the beginning. This was an important step. So please see here, you see for me, it is showing Springer Nature affiliates library. For you, it will show your institute name. So if you are seeing that, then you do not need to log in into Springer Link at all. You should be able to access all the journals. Okay, Akanksha is asking if the institute is not listed on the institute list, can the library of this register? See, Akanksha, if you are an academic government institution, you are eligible. If you are not listed, please, you yourself know if you are an academic institution or higher education institution, a research lab, a government institution, a college, NIT, IIT, IIM, iSearch, all the government institutions are included. If you are one of them, you can register via ONOS.
Albana, we have a few raised hands. Shall we take those
Yeah,
questions?
yeah. I'm just scrolling. I think give me
Sure.
1 minute. Okay, there's a question about the full article could not be accessed in various cases. Even many articles could be found in ONS, while the same article is found in the original publisher, which ONS have access to. Why does this is ONS database? Yes, sir. So ONOS is a database. ONOS is not a full text platform. This is an anonymous attendee, but I'd like to clarify. They're asking that on ONOS they are not able to read the full article. Yes, for the full article, you will have to go to the publisher site. So ONOS is it's not a full text database. It's just a aggregator kind, you could say, where all the journals are amalgamated, but they are linked to all publisher sites. So if you want to read the full text, you have to go to the publisher website only. Ma'am, what is the process to submit a part one, part two manuscript? How to communicate? So this is a question by Mukhopadhyay ji. So as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm excited that we are running a session in the next month. The third webinar in the series would be all about, you would not be really listening to me talking so much. The webinar would be about how to write and how to publish. So I'll try to get the best editor from Springer Nature who can come online and talk to you all about, it will be a 2-hour session. Please keep a lookout from email from my side, from maybe Neeraj's side, and about registration link, etc. So please register for it. It will be all about writing and publishing. So maybe in that, Mukhopadhyay ji, we will be able to cover your question. So there's an attendee asking about universities providing access or not. See, this Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of, I'm really sorry for pronouncing it bad. University of Baroda is providing access or not. So you will need to go to the ONOS site, and this is covered in ONOS. This is a state university. It is covered in ONOS. You need to see whether they are they should be registered. You really need not to do anything. All you need to do is if you're a user, make your own registration, because this university doesn't need to register since it was part of ESS earlier. So this has seamlessly integrated already. Can a research scholar, Umang is asking, can a research scholar submit its manuscript without the support of a research supervisor? Definitely. I mean, the process really doesn't say that you need to have a supervisor. The process say if you want, you can have a co-author. People who have done research together, you can have a support of research supervisor for your research work, but for submitting a manuscript, you can do independently as well. So if you want more information on that or more help, you can write to me separately on my email ID. Maybe Neeraj, you can share our email IDs also, both
Sure
of us.
thing, Albana.
My university is a state university, so can I register for ONS? Yes, Ritu, you can certainly do that. If you have not done, you have already lost 4 months. So please do that. Okay, ONOS can only be logged in after institution has logged in prior. Yes. So as a user, the institution has to register first, and then as a user, you can register. How do I log into link? I explain this. Can we get the recording? Yes, of course. Okay, this is from Shiva Shankari. One of our users had requested us to publish an article in the Journal of Geometric Analysis, which is part of Springer Nature. We are affiliated with the DAE Institute. I would like to know whether we are required to pay any. Could you explain the publication process in detail? Shiva Shankari, I would like to really ask you which institute you are. I think from DAE, Neeraj, you have 69 institutes in DAE?
Yes, Albana. Around about.
So yeah, so DA, we have a TA, and if you are part of one of the DA affiliated institute, you need not really to give any APC charges. All of it is covered. Maybe let me just quickly check for you here, and then we invite the raised hand. I'm really sorry all the time. I mean these webinars always extend as much as I try to really confine them to the limited time, but the Q&A always takes more. Okay, which is the Journal of Geometric Analysis. Okay, so the question is that whether this journal is the question, the Shiva Shankari is from DA Affiliated Institute. So what you can do is you can actually explore open access funding here, like I did, and this is a hybrid. Yes, so this is a hybrid. So one funding option. So it's very clear here. This journal is covered in the DAETA. You can very well go ahead and publish your article here. Now the process, I think Neeraj is the right person, and we do full-fledged sessions for OA. In fact, one is scheduled tomorrow. If Neeraj can share the registration link, because in that sessions, this is session for ONOS, but we are running parallelly OA agreement sessions, which Neeraj is taking care of, and he explains very beautifully what are the various steps an author should do after they're accepted for publication, but to avail an agreement, avail APC waiver under the agreement. So he tells us the full-fledged session is for that. I think a session is running tomorrow. If not needed, maybe you can just give the details of the nearest session that is there. But in a nutshell, Shiva, I would like to tell you, when you get a congratulation email from your journal people, the journal editors, in that mail, there is a link which you have to click, and that will ask you whether you would like to go for the publication mode, I mean the subscription, or the open access, because it's a hybrid journal. And if you choose open access, then they will ask you, do you have a discount code or your institute is covered? Then you have to choose that. And when you choose your institute and then it says, okay, it is covered, then you really have to just sign one DocuSign agreement. That's all online. It just happens in 5 minutes, and then you are good to go. But then we have a dedicated webinar for this as well. Okay, so I think the questions more or less are done, and we have similar questions only. So manuscript publication tips and the relevant process, as I said, Harish, we will actually have a webinar dedicated for that in the next one. Okay, so maybe Neeraj, you can call people who have raised hands, I think.
Mr. Parshuram N, you may please unmute yourself. If Mr. Parshuram N is not available, Mr. Adarsh, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself. Okay, I think these are some hands raised earlier. So what I'll do is I'll lower all hands right now. If you have any questions, please raise your hand once again.
Yeah. Okay, Sangeeta is asking, I have registered on ONOS, but they show the message institute is not eligible. And you have an AISHE code also. So Sangeeta, please reach out to support immediately. Please reach out to that ID and ask. There must be some error somewhere. So this can be sorted by the support@onos.gov.in ID. Do we have hands?
Nadeem Khan, sir, can you please ask a question? You can unmute yourself, sir. Prabhat Kumar, if you have a question. Yes, Prabhat, sir. Yeah.
I just asked, Arpana had shown us how to generate a citation, but I want to know in which citation style is the default? APA, MLA, Chicago style, or which style is that? And if there is a default style, is there a way to change it?
Sir, I would not be able to really answer this question. That's beyond the scope of my knowledge, because I cannot see. So it depends. Our articles are integrated well with Zotero and Note. That's where you can do. But I don't know whether which style, but I can check this answer for you certainly. That which is the
So
default
just
style.
to add a little to that, sir, each imprint and each journal will have
Have their own.
their own requirements.
I can write this
Uh,
question.
of course, you can change the citations either through any software that you are using or by following the citation guidelines. But more information you can find on the journal submission
Journal submission.
guidelines page.
Definitely. But still,
No,
sir,
I'm not asking. I am not asking about which citation style to use while submitting an article for publication. I am asking, you showed us that if we want to cite an article, there is a citation generator. We can generate a citation. Now, in which style is it generated by default? That's what I wanted to ask.
Okay, so since I mean, when I actually generated, it doesn't show me anything, sir, honestly, because I don't have the appropriate software to embed it. Since you are using some citation managers, you should be able to see. Maybe I suggest you download this because for me, it's just a file which is not opening. And when we check with our editors, they say that it is compatible with any citation manager. So that's, yeah. So for me, it shows window. I can't open this file here because I don't use a citation manager as such. But I
No,
can
I'm
get
not
answer
talking
for
about.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So
Thank you.
if I can share my screen with you, this is how I'll just show it to you again, which I was showing there. Every see here. So we have this download citation. When I do that, so
Yes,
it
this
downloads
one.
the file. Yeah. No, it is in this format, sir, RIS. No, I don't have any of software to embed it so that I can see what kind of a output comes out. So you can embed this file in the citation, the reference managers you are using. This is how the
Can't
file.
I just can't I just copy and paste it instead of downloading it?
No, no, we have there's only so copy and paste, sir, because we are not yeah, maybe when you open this, you will have a whole query written and you can copy and paste that. But I am
Okay,
not sure about without downloading if you can do it.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because for
Alpana,
me, it's
if I
asking for an app.
yeah, if I may, sir, actually, if you just wish to copy and paste the citation, you can always
Open in Notepad, maybe.
yeah, the citation that is presented just above the download link, you can
Yeah.
always copy that and paste
Yeah,
it as a
this one.
citation. The download citation is only in case you are using some kind of software which automatically would input the citations in your paper, for instance, Scrivener or something like that, which will manage your citations and add those citations as you want to use them. So in that case, this is a file that you can embed in your software and use. But other than that, you can always copy the citation that is presented above and use it as per
Yeah,
your
you're right, Neeraj. But we don't recommend copying because it's too many citations and it is difficult to
right,
manage
right,
the
right.
citation. Hence, we recommend that researchers use a citation manager, and they all are using citation managers. So, but I will have to check about this APA MLA format, sir, which you are saying, whether it's compatible to that or not.
Okay, thank you.
Shall we take the next question, Alpana?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Ruhina Prasad, ma'am, if you have a question, Ruhina Prasad.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am,
Uh,
please go ahead.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Ma'am, I am a research scholar from Madan Mohan Malviya University of Technology, Gorakhpur, and we are having this means we are access to your Springer Nature journal. So in that case, what we have seen that being a literature student, whenever we submit a descriptive type of research, it has always been written, but just with a command that comment that this type of research is not of our area, and I am doing my work in Dalit feminism. So, is there any criteria or any set research pattern in English that your paper, your Springer is willing to accept?
Okay, so which journal are you submitting your research in, ma'am?
Uh, I have submitted in Springer Nature. Now, at this moment, I am not able to recall it, but
Okay.
we have got a feedback that this journal doesn't this your paper does not match to our area.
Yeah. So, ma'am, it's not that there is a set criteria that I can tell you, okay, if you have this kind of research, maybe this is the journal for you. As I said, you need to use the finder or maybe your guide's help or your help where you read the journals and then see whether the aim and scope are matching. It's not that we are confined, okay, we will not publish this kind of research. That's not the case, but the research is uh, we do the due diligence as to whether the research is applicable for everybody. What is the scope? Is it narrow scope, broad scope? Accordingly, you have to choose the journal. So journal finder is one thing where you can put in the topics and find. Other than that, when you choose a journal, you'll also need to see that your research will cater to a broad scope of people, of the research community, or to a narrow scope. And then you choose the journal accordingly. So maybe we can connect offline, ma'am, for this, and I can get in touch with some editors to see if we can help you in this area, which journals should be relevant for you.
Thank you, ma'am. If you do so, I will be very much helpful
Yeah,
from
yeah.
your
Please,
side.
if you can send an email to me, Neeraj has already shared the email ID. If you can send, and you must be having the email IDs because I've been sending these emails about this webinars. So
Yeah,
please,
yeah. I'm having, ma'am.
yeah,
So
sure.
I will send you the email.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Arzu Saini, if you have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Namaste. Yes, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask that if Springer Nature has journals related to yoga therapy, or yogic science.
Yoga therapy. Let me just check for you. Yoga therapy, you're saying, or yoga?
Yeah, yoga or yoga therapy, both can be included in this also.
Because there are so many journals. Sometimes it's very, it's not easy to remember whether we have.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Yeah. So I don't think we have a full-fledged journal for this area, but there should be relevant journals which publish article in this one. Let me very quickly share my screen with you. So maybe I've added yoga therapy here for let's see if I can get something from the yoga therapy also. Okay, so this is different kind of, then we have articles here. Let's see. So there would be your Arzu, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There would be Arzu, which the journals may not be really with the name of yoga therapy, but if you that's why I was telling you the importance of doing a better keyword search. So you see your area, you put in here. Now we have a dementia grief therapy, and then let me just put articles.
Actually, ma'am, I am a research scholar from Department of Yoga, Central University of Haryana. So
Okay.
I wanted to ask that if, since my research is in yoga therapy and yogic science, so if the Springer Nature provides any journal platform which accepts journals, means articles
Working.
related to this.
Yeah, so I would suggest here we need to really find the right journal for you. And then because we cannot check with I'll tell you the process of book publication and article is very different. We cannot check with the editor in Springer Nature, okay, whether this article will suit, because we have so many journals and our EICs are all academicians who are working in different institutions, and they run our journals, and there are many society journals also. So we cannot check whether this will be accepted or not. What we can really do is actually try to find out the right journal for you, read the intent scope of it, and see and then you submit your manuscript there, and see what are the responses coming from the peer reviewers. That
Yes,
is
ma'am, that is not a problem. If you can just check if there are some journals which readily accept like articles related to yoga, then we can try and send our
exactly
manuscripts in that.
to yoga and yoga. So can you send me a little bit, I mean, just 2 3 lines about your research? So maybe I can actually try to fetch some journals for you.
Yes, ma'am. Right now, or you may send your email
Yeah,
ID to
please.
me. I'll
Yeah, yeah.
write to you. Yeah.
Please send an email to me and give me 2 3 lines about your area of research. We'll try to see which best journals we have in Springer.
Ma'am, do you have the same, means I have to send on the same mail ID from which you are sending us the email for these webinars?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And you don't have to get bored by my emails because you'll keep getting this food throughout the year.
No, ma'am, we enjoy it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. So maybe Neeraj, we can just take another 1 or 2 questions because we also have to be mindful of time. There are people waiting with us. I really appreciate them to stay with us after the stipulated time, but still, I think maybe in the next session I will plan 1 hour 45 minutes.
Muruganantham T. I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly. Muruganantham T. If not, can we get the question from Kaila Somaya?
Yes, good evening. So, is there any law-related journals can be accessed through Springer Nature? So, where can we find the list of the titles? Please
Yes.
let us know.
So you're saying related to law, any topic you would want me to, and then we can see, or just law related journals you need?
International law, commercial law, arbitration law, any one of the titles.
International law. Let's see if we have some journals. So I've just put in law here. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see what comes in. We have journals because we have a strong law and criminology collection with us, even in the books also. So these are the journals that we have, sir. I mean, I suggest since everything I hope you are from an ONOS member, everything is open to you. Put in the keywords and on the left hand side, see what I did, sir. I just put in here law, just very, very basic thing. But maybe if you have a topic, you can also do that. And then on the left hand side, look for the journals. In the content side, you can actually, just to see what journal Springer has, here, click on the journals and click on update results. So you will get a list of journals and you can see which is matching your, like this is international cybersecurity, international sports, this is criminal law and philosophy, this is artificial intelligence and law. These are all journals. Does that serve your purpose a bit, sir?
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. This one also, sir, international environment agreements, politics, law, could be related to. But again, I mean, you need to be smart enough for typing the right keywords for your search and then see which journals comes in. Yeah, Neeraj, let's take one more question then. And the questions in the chats are, I think, more or less answered because they were similar. Neeraj, you're muted.
I think Muruganantham T is available now to ask the question.
Yes.
You may please go ahead if you're there. Muruganantham T. Okay, I don't think they are here. Then Kausalya Mahana. Kausalya Maharana.
Hello, ma'am. Can you
Yeah.
explain the track research usefulness?
Ma'am, your voice is not entirely clear. Could you please maybe move closer to the microphone?
Sir, I want to know about the usefulness of track research.
Track, okay, this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here what you can do, let's say, ma'am, you are an author and you have multiple papers with us. Now, I cannot show you because I don't have an author ID. But if you have made an ID with us in any of the journals when you would have submitted, like when we submit in the, now we have shifted to Snap, but we had earlier editorial managers. So people used to make IDs there, their username for every journal. So with this track your research, you can continue with whatever you have made, either your ID or your Google ID or Corkit. And then you can see every manuscript, which stages they are in. So this is about tracking your research, whether which stage the research is in. I've seen some dashboard from researchers, like it says it is in the peer review stage, how many days, or maybe it's already in the response letter stage that a response is received. So that is the benefit of track your research.
If I provide half-written article, then can it show me my research track?
Come again, ma'am, I didn't get you. If you have written a?
If I put my half-written article, then can I know my research track?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to get the first part. If you have written a half article, you're saying?
I'm in the middle of my writing the article.
Neeraj, are you able to get it? I'm sorry, I'm just.
No, even I'm not able to hear you.
Ma'am, can you type your question? Can you type if that's okay?
Your chat is disabled.
Ma'am, you can add the question in the Q&A section.
Q&A section. Deepak has also written a question to open, asking for opening the mic. I just checked. Deepak Madan, if you can allow Neeraj.
Yes, Deepak Madan sir, you can please ask a question. Deepak Madan. Okay, then
There's
Dr.
a question from
Okay.
Harish about writing the email regarding more knowledge for proper journal selection. There is a question by Harish Sharma. Can we write an email regarding more knowledge for proper journal selection? Sir, I didn't get your question. I mean, you want us to write an email or you want us to cover it? Okay, okay. The other question which was there, I think it's if my manuscript is not fully written, can it track my research? Okay. I'm a little confused with this question. So if the manuscript is not fully written, you would not have submitted it in our portals. You can submit a manuscript only when it is completely written. But if you're saying that you want to use the journal finder, such tools, and if you want to paste a part of your manuscript, so we do not really store it anywhere. You can be rest assured that we do not store it anywhere. And if you want to use these tools, put in your abstract there, you can do that. But tracking research is only applicable after your manuscript is complete. You have already submitted it in our publisher portals. Then the track your research is applicable. Dr. Har Singh is asking, during the implementation phase of ONOS, the government of India has approved approximately 1.5 crores. So it's 150 crores actually for the APC charges for the member institution. Is there any update on that? So the latest update we got, because we were able to meet some of those officials in a recent event, we got that the government is already in the implementation stage of that. And more or less, I mean, they are the right person to we do not also have much information about the APC implementation information, but we know that it will happen, certainly happen this year. And they are speeding up on this. That's the only information we have as publishers. Mukeshji, you're writing it almost 25 minutes over. I know the Q&A round is only fully open. If you want to leave the session, you are more than welcome to leave it. My deepest apologies, because whenever we do these webinars, the Q&A session always tend to extend. And for those who didn't like it, I'm really sorry. Maybe for the next time, I will try to schedule the session keeping 15-20 minutes buffer, because when we try to do discussions, we try to address as much as possible, and hence we get overboard. But since the presentation part and demo got complete within the at 4:10, so you are happy to leave the webinar, sir. Thank you. Okay, then Neeraj, I think we should wind up now. And if there are any questions, as I always say, please do write to us. After the first webinar, we got a lot of questions from which related to journal, research topics, and ONOS. We try to address all of them. We will also look at these questions. If there are some unanswered, we'll reach out to you. Some things I want to share is that the certificates will be sent to you. It might take 3 to 4 days, because you can understand the amount of data we have to work with. And also, I got many emails regarding name corrections for certificates. Please understand, we do not manually change any name. What you actually enter while you are registering for the webinar, only that name comes in the certificate. So my request to you is, please be careful and mindful of spelling mistakes when you are actually registering for the webinars. The system only picks up the name that is put up there. Okay, so maybe this I have already covered in my yeah, so this is the one. So the next webinar is planned on 15th May. And as I mentioned, we will include a session on research writing and publishing. That's where many of your queries, also the queries like citation, which we were not able to address, maybe I'll try to find an answer internally, because we will have a subject matter expert there who is working on these kind of things day in and day out. they will be able to really answer your queries related to that. So we plan to make it a big session, 2 hours. So please come with your coffee and teas on 15th of May, and we really hope to see you there. And keep a lookout on emails from us for the registration link soon. Thank you so very much. As I said, the link to watch recording will be shared with you tomorrow. And also the feedback, once you close the browser, you will see the feedback form. If at all, by any chance, you're not able to fill the feedback today, tomorrow in the recording email, you will also have a link again to fill the form, fill the feedback. Please do let us know how you felt about this webinar. We'll be very happy to receive your feedback, and it encourages us to do more. Even if it is a critical feedback, we are open to that, and we'll try to improve basis your comments. Thank you so very much, and have a good rest of your day. Those of you who have a holiday tomorrow, wish you a very happy long weekend. For those who are not, I still wish you a very happy weekend. Thank you, and thank you, Neeraj, so much for all your support, really. Thank you all.